we're going to come up with a shortcut or formula for the area of triangle so we don't have to do so much work using a half base times height. So usually it's a half times the base times the height, right? I don't know the height of this triangle, but I can find it. What am I given? I'm given the opposite and the hypotenuse, which we know is sine because this is a right angle triangle. So how do I set it up? Sine of the angle, 45, equals opposite, which is h, over hypotenuse, which is 5 radical 2. Multiply both sides by 5 radical 2. You're going to get h equals 5 radical 2 sine of 45. Put that straight in the calculator, you'll get an answer, right? But we're going to write down the area, which is a half times the base, which is 14 in this case, times the height, which is this whole thing. And we're going to put that all in the calculator, and we're going to get 35. Okay, doing another problem, similar thing. We're given some information. We're trying to find the area, so it's a half base times the height. So I need to find what h is equal to. I know that this is the hypotenuse. So I need opposite and hypotenuse, so we're using sine again. So setting that up, sine of the angle, which is 30, is equal to the opposite, which is h, over the hypotenuse, which is 18. Multiply both sides by 18. We're going to get 18 sine 30. That's the height. To find the area, it's a half times the base. And what's the base? 38. Times the height, which is 18 sine 30. Put that whole thing in the calculator just as it is. You're going to get 171. There is a shortcut to doing this. And if you have this triangle special case where you have side, angle, then side, angle, and then side, right? If your angle is sandwiched between two sides that you know, you can use this formula. So we're going to kind of join what we just did with what we already have. So it looks exactly like this. If we're given the sandwiched angle and we know the B and C, we can write it. So my sandwiched angle in this case is 45, and B and C is 14 and 5 radical 2. So according to these formulas, right, given sine of A, so that's the second formula here, I'd be able to find this area by saying it's equal to a half times B, which is this length, which is 5 radical 2, times C, which is down there, which is 14, sine of angle A, which is 45. And let's compare what we had and what we have. A half, then we have 5 radical 2, then we have 14 sine 45. Because it's all multiplication, the order doesn't matter. So you see, the shorter way of doing it is having this formula. In this other case, we're given C, right? Sine of C. So if we were to give in this triangle without having all the extra calculations, we'd say a half A. So I'm going to label my triangle opposites. That's going to be little a. Half of A, which is 18, times B, which is the bottom, which is 38, sine of capital C, which is 30. And we're going to compare it to what we already had and see if it matches up. So we've got a half, we've got 38, 18, and sine of 30. So it matches because multiplication doesn't matter the order. So basically, again, if you have an angle sandwiched between two sides that you know, SAS, you can just simply use this formula. So let's look at it. Here's my angle sandwiched between two things I know, SAS. So how do I write that? Area is equal to a half times the two sides sandwiched. So that's 9 times 8. And then sine of the angle that is sandwiched, 46. Okay, I'm going to be more official. So let's label my triangle, little b, little c, little a. I'm given sine of capital A. So I'm using this formula. So I have b, which is 8, and then times c, which is 9, and then sine of capital A, 46. So I don't even care about the letters. And you can put that in straight in the calculator and get 26. I don't care about the letters as long as it's sandwiched. It's a half times the two sides that are sandwiched next to each other, 17 and 26, times sine of the sandwiched angle. Put that straight in the calculator. You're going to get roughly 159. Okay, so I'm going to set up the two-word problems for you. Again, we're going to label the whole triangle. It does not matter where you put A, B, and C as long as you go opposite for a, little B, and little c. Let's label what we have. So capital C is 84.5, little a is 32, and little b, this got cut off, is 40. All right, again, it's sandwiched between the angles. So I don't even care about the letters. I can write this straight out as area is equal to, see if you can finish that sentence. We're going to set up the second one. So again, it doesn't matter where you put A, B, and C as long as you go opposite little a, opposite little b, opposite little c. Label your triangle 29 for capital A, little b is 49, and little c is 50. Again, it is sandwiched between these two sides that I know. So SAS. So see if you can write down the area. Let's practice.